Hi!
Hi!
Okay, this is RuPaul's All-Stars Drag Race Episode 4 plus Untucked review.
Yes.
First of all, I want to say some of y'all were really mad last week when we weren't up in drag and saying, oh, it's not going to be good enough or whatever, and y'all were going off in the comments, and I appreciate it, but it is what it is. Y'all just going to have to accept for the rest of All-Stars that this is what y'all are going to get. If y'all don't like it, I'm sorry, but I can't physically get in drag for y'all throughout this moment.
For the people that said that it's not a problem, whatever, thank you.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like we're reviewing the damn show. I get that people want to see our looks and everything, but we gotta focus on what real life shit right now, you know?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's only temporary. It's only going to be for a short while.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Bullet points, this is not the end of Isis and Coco. We will continue season 5. We're just gonna finish this course, and that's that.
Yeah, also, this Saturday, we should be doing a Ustream. I don't know if the THROWINSHADE name was taken, but we'll decide on one and let y'all know. So make sure you like us on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. We'll be updating.
Once we decided on the time, we'll post a video or something on YouTube to something really short to say, okay, this is the time and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll keep y'all updated.
Also, if you haven't already, down below in the description box will be our first podcast interview that we did with fagandhagpodcast.com. We'll link to that in the penny sniffer section down below.
Yeah, check it out because we spill a bunch of tea on Drag Race and the drag scene in the UK and our thoughts and feelings on that and just generally kikiing and it's cute and y'all will really love it. So check it out for real.
Okay, so let's get on with the episode now. The main challenge this week was a variation of the reading challenge, which was the cheer reading.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really cute way to, bring it back slightly, updated.
And make it more, less on the spot, too. Because it must be so, at least they can,
think
do
of
it.
something.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I don't know, because reading is an art form, and to get up there unprepared, So they have 20 minutes to get ready and, put together, whatever it is they're gonna do, and, put their looks together, which is obviously why you will see that most of the queens look either crazy or, a lot more nude than they would normally be. Yeah, which is always fun for me. I like seeing the queens in that kind of half-baked, messy, because that's what I'm saying. You either half-bake or you say, let me just go nuts and look bad on purpose. Yeah.
Okay, so first up was Team Y'Alexis.
Yeah.
I thought they did really well. The first few were kind of, a little janky, but when they, started to get to Team Shad, they seemed to have
That's when they really slayed,
With Chanel, they read her down. It was so funny, so I got my life.
Yeah, they went in there, they did their thing, and they left. They did it.
Yes,
I thought that Team Rujubi had their moments. I didn't think they did as well as Jada and Alexis did, but,
The highlight was the go home.
Yes. Yeah.
Sickening.
Also, I'm gonna say that Jujubee don't need a lick of paint. If that's her, in 20 minutes, bitch, I'm gonna have to give her all the 10s.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up was Team Shad, and I thought that their synergy wasn't really on point in terms of the cheer. They were really trying to it was too fast paced for me. I don't know why they thought let's they thought they was rappers in that moment. Girls.
I think it was too cheery. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just didn't really.
They were saying their lines and they were mismatched, even though you could really tell they were trying to keep up with each other, and then they'd get stuck because one of the other ones messed up, and it's just a mess. Yeah. No tea, no shade.
No.
Chanel, she don't need a lick of paint either, bitch. No, I lie. She looked fucked up. That bitch
Chad
looked crazy,
was done
and
for
I
20
loved it.
minutes too, though, bitch. She was Chad.
Girl, Jujubee said it best. She was paying for the blind. But girl, I I feel like she should just come on the runway like that, like straight up, like, you know, if Santino ain't feeling what you serving, go serve him that, because nobody can deny that
so
shit.
the winner of this week's mini challenge was Team Alexis again.
Yes, rightfully so.
Yeah, they slayed it. So the main challenge this week was that they had to stretch their charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent to form girl groups with special guest members.
Yeah. So they had to come up with a signature look for their girl group, as well as a name and choreography for the lip sync performance that, you know, each team had to do.
Okay, so the guests this week were Kelly Osbourne, Jillian Hervey, and Katie Z.
So the three songs was Glamazon, CoverGirl, and Jealous of My Boogie.
So Kelly Osbourne got teamed up with Team Alexis with the song CoverGirl.
Yeah.
Team RuPaul's chose Jealous of My Boogie, which got them paired up with Katie Z.
Yes, of course, being season 2 queens.
Yes, and Chad and Chanel chose Glamazon, which left them with Jillian.
Yes.
Who, can I say, is snatched. They just kind of got on with it, and it showed us some of Team Shad, and it was Chanel kind of taking control and trying to choreograph everything and being very assertive, as Chad said. And it's the first time I feel like we've got to see that old Chanel this season.
Yes, like, everything gotta be her way, like, telling on China, like, why it was going out when it was meant to be going up, and, like, just that, like, analytical shit. To this moment, whether or not they asked Jillian whether she was a dancer. Maybe they did ask her, and Chanel decided that she was gonna, like, choreograph the shit anyway. Because, let's be real, chances are, bitch. So when Ru went over to talk to Team Shad, you know, the tension was still kind of there, and, like, you know, Chad said that Chanel was definitely being assertive with the whole thing, you know, letting Ru know, like, how she was kind of feeling without having to really say it, you know?
Yeah, Ru was speaking to Team Alexis with Kelly, and, you know, Kelly just seemed like 100% up for it. She wanted to do the drag. She was like the perfect person for anyone to have on their team.
I don't feel like they would have even had to pay her for this episode, but she would have been there regardless.
She's just so like genuine with her love for drag and her respect for it, and
I really
we
think
love
that
her.
she got paired up with the perfect team.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like them three together just was like a match made in heaven, and like, you know, they all kind of weird and like. They can relate to each other in terms of, you know, not speaking the language or at least having an accent, which makes you stand out. So I thought that was really cute. The synergy was down, honey. I think throughout the season with Team Alexis. Speaking of assertive, bitch, Ru went over to talk to Team RuPaul, and like Raven was letting you have it all, Miss Honey. She was feeling Shakira on that ass.
She was ready.
She was ready. She wasn't playing with her that day.
No. Yeah, they were kind of like, Ru was like, oh, show me a dance, and it kind of went wrong. Katie was like all over the place, so you kind of got the hint that it was not going to be the best choreography.
I mean, you have hopes that they were going to turn out, but honestly, we will touch base on that later, trust. Okay, so it's time for each team to practice their choreography, and first up was Team Alexis with Kelly Osbourne. And, you know, I know that Kelly Osbourne was on Dancing with the Stars. I never watched it, so I don't know, like, how far into it she got or whatever. But I kind of got the feeling that she maybe kind of helped them pull out some of those ideas, like the lifting and stuff like that. Because that's very Dancing with the Stars, right? Yeah. Like, you know, throughout the choreography, she was trying to, like, help out and play her part and not just be like, you know, dead weight.
So it seemed like as time went on with Team Alexis practicing, they kind of kept changing everything because Jada was kind of all over the place. So I don't know if that really helped them in terms of choreography.
Jada said that, you know, rehearsal was the time to change things, so I'm like, surely it's the time to rehearse things. You know?
Yes. Okay, so next up was Team RuPaul in rehearsal. And, you know, apart from a little bit of fumbling here and there with Katie, it seemed like their shit was pretty together.
Yeah.
You know, the choreography wasn't that extravagant, but it didn't need to be, it just needed to be executed well.
I mean, what you want, splits and dips and backflips, I mean, and look at the heels that these bitches had on too, okay? Because they weren't playing no games. Spinning and everything around the damn runway, so I was feeling like pretty confident for them, like, okay, they gonna slay this.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up was Team Shad, and they was rehearsing with Jillian, of course, and, you know, I felt like at first the rehearsal was going smoothly, And like, but then Chanel just kept butting in, and like the minute to me that Jillian lifted that leg, like, bitch, I was getting my life. I was like, Snippy, let him use you, mother.
Yes.
But like, you know, that Chanel starts complaining about the foot being in her face, and I feel like sometimes she just has such a blunt way of saying things. Jillian be like slaying the scene, like she is serving body, she's giving you visuals, bitch. So like, you got someone amazing to work with here.
Definitely see how Chad was getting really like frustrated with Chanel and all her little nitpicky things. Like, oh, we should be so far from each other, we should be closer together, whatever.
Yeah, it was too much.
So it was the second day in the workroom, and you know, we got to see Kelly like kikiing with Team Alexis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really a cute moment. You know, they were talking about both of them having a strong accent and being able to relate to each other because of it. Takes like half an hour to get through a drive-through and crazy shit like that.
I feel like they was getting like a connection, like a friendship, and that's what's gonna make like the performance sickening to me. Is that you all feeling each other. Yeah. You got a vibe, right?
Yeah.
Jillian was talking to Chad and Chanel about, you know, like their friendship, because she was saying how they seem like they've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
And she asked about, has everything always been in the honeymoon period, and you know, they opened up about their situation where they didn't talk for like 5 years.
They were talking about how they worked together and it kind of got competitive and it kind of ruined their relationship.
Yeah.
But Chanel's mom passed and Chad showed up to the funeral and obviously like...
real ass shit.
Yeah. So they just realized that it was a time waster, and I think it made them realize that maybe they didn't need to be going at each other so much during this whole thing.
Exactly, and if like the whole thing kind of started about like something to do with that, I think it's really nice ending to the whole thing, to be on All Stars together, especially in a team. Like, it's weird the way the world works that way. Okay, so Team Rouge was doing Katie's makeup, mostly Raven it looked like, but I don't know. And she was not feeling it, Miss Honey.
No, ma'am. She probably, like, saw Raven, like, cooking.
Painted and cooked,
and she was like, I don't want to look crazy. But I think, you know, she just was... She didn't know nothing about makeup, let alone drag makeup. So she was kind of...
But, I mean... That's the thing that I don't get. Like, she knew what she was signing up for when she was called to do the show or whatever. Yeah. And, like, you gotta realize that, like, you're there to help them. So if you see Raven or Juju or anyone, you think, oh, damn, they look crazy, I wanna look like that. Like, who gives a shit? Because you ain't getting nothing out of it. Like, what, you feel like you're gonna look silly on TV? Like,
yeah, like, everybody's already seen what you look like anyway, like, normally. So, even if you looked crazy, it could have been, well, I was on a drag show, what the hell do you want me to look like?
Yeah, I just didn't see any way of, like, tying it up and say, okay, this is why she, like, it just was done to me, honestly, to be blunt. A bunch of drag queens in, like, the top competition, TV series, like, and you don't want to have that much makeup on? Like, girl, really?
Yeah.
And don't try and act like that makeup ain't cute either, because how many fucking real girls are walking around the damn place nowadays saying, oh, I want to look like Kim Kardashian, oh, putting the damn white powder
and the banana
under their eyes with the harsh lines and everything, so don't play. Now, Jalexis and Shad, on the other hand, had great guests because they was really feeling it, and you could tell, and like, that's like a really special thing about drag, is going through the process and like seeing the finished result and just like feeling it and being like, yes. And like, I don't understand how Katie wasn't really getting into it like that. Like, especially with everything going on in the workroom, I would think that she'd look around and like kind of get in the spirit of it. What's going on in her mind that day?
Okay, so it was time for the runway, and Miss Rue motherfucking Paul let y'all bitches have it this week. Like, I can't even take in all of the eleganza that she served to us.
Girl, when she came out, I done near had a heart attack. Girl, this tops it off for me, Miss Girl. This is it. Like,
Matthew.
Never has a bitch looked so snatched with a wig on.
And of course, shout out to our diva, Michelle Visage, letting you have it with a hair. Okay, so first up to perform were Savage Sisters, aka Team Shad. I thought they did really well. You know, a main critique for them was that Jillian was maybe stealing the spotlight.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it was a bad thing because it meant that their team as a whole did better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like I thought because I don't think it was the positioning. I don't think it's that she was in the middle. I think it was the fact that she was the best dancer out of the three, so they used that to their advantage, and it was visually pleasing.
Yeah.
Because it would have looked off too, having like one chick dancing on the side with the other two here, like
symmetry.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of had to do it that way. Like if the bitch can do the splits and the dips and the spins, like let her do the spins and the dip. Like,
yeah. As a whole, I thought they did really well. The choreography seemed to be executed well. The lip syncing, pretty good.
Yeah, everything was on point.
So next up was Fanny Shosha. Turns across the board for
that name, yeah.
I thought they did really well as well. Everybody kind of did well this week. They seem to be the ones that were having the most fun and living on the runway. Choreography could have been a little more on point, and Kelly didn't even really lip sync.
You know what? She was having fun,
but she was having fun
and thing, you know, you know.
But,
besides Alexis, I don't think Jada and Kelly are really dancers like that.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, what they're gonna do. They served their best with, like, what they had. That's for sure, I think.
Last up was V3, aka Team Rujubee. I really enjoyed the performance as well. Yeah, they got clocked on the repeated dance moves, but I mean, if they look good in the video, why not use them on stage and save yourself some hassle?
Like, I understand that and everything, but I would not, like, if my teammates said to me, oh, let's just do the moves, so I would be like, no, girl, like, maybe they felt like they were giving it, like, a shout-out, and Ru would get her life from it.
Yeah, I don't know, but where Ru truly got her life was that Jujubee solo at the end. She caught her life in that moment, and Jujubee slayed. I think she carried that
was on point the whole way through. Like, she came hard and she ended hard.
I
definitely did think that Katie's look threw me off visually.
Yeah,
as a
it
group,
definitely did.
Because, like, not even, like, I just didn't feel that it was cohesive.
No,
with
and I didn't
Raven
feel like she was drag enough.
It wasn't drag enough, and even then, like, I'm like, okay, you don't want to be drag enough, that's fine. She was giving it her all, but in terms of, like, her look and everything, it just looked, like, kind of lazy.
Yeah, it threw the whole group off for me. I mean, Raven and Juju look completely different, but if she would have looked more drag, I think it would have looked like three girls with their own, like, personalities or whatever. Yeah.
We'll get more into that because they speak about it in Untucked. Well, girl, I was just really, 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 girl.
You mad? Oh, you mad?
Just to breeze through some of the critiques that the girls were given on the main stage, I feel like Santino is being a little bit nitpicky with Chanel. Like, I feel like he's always gonna pick on Chanel a little bit at this point. And
give her a damn break, yo.
Like, to say that she looked like Elvis, like, you would have thought when Latrice spoke up that he would have learned to maybe, like, I understand he wants to give sound bites and everything, but you just come off looking mad shady, though.
Yeah, it's not cute. Miss Mary Wilson from the Supremes was letting these bitches have it with her critique, right? She was going in, like, what a good judge.
Feeling it, and, like, I just want to say, we watched the live chat thing with Michelle, Jada, and Alex said today in that live thing that she made those 3 outfits in, like, 4 hours. To do all that, you doing the most, like, for real.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta give her 10s for that. Thank you for these judges this week, because they was truly giving you the tea. That's what they needed. That's what these girls need. It's like, I feel like they were being really positive and like just feeling it. I want to say something about Santino trying to clock Miss Raven's tights in this episode. Like, bitch, pantyhose. Like, I don't know about you, Santino, how many times you try to make your hips look like real hips and your legs look like real legs with no hair on them by using some damn pantyhose. Because that shit is hard, especially to get a good color whether you expensive or not, bitch, that shit is hard to find. Like, you can't match that shit perfectly. It ain't like some fucking real good foundation that you can blend into the skin tone, bitch. This is an illusion. This is for the stage. You know, these girls, you know, you've been drinking through the night and everything. Like, ain't nobody looking at their legs and saying, oh, bitch, that don't match her arms. Like, whatever, girl. Like, that's picking a little too far for me.
Especially with some of the tights that I've seen some queens wear and not be read on. I guess it's All Stars, but whatever.
But girl, they tights. Like, what the fuck ever.
I just want to quickly say that at the end of the runway, and when Ru asked if there was anything anyone would like to say, and Raven said, Clay, her pussy was on fire.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say. Okay, so the winners of this week's challenge were Team Shad for the second week in a row.
Yeah.
And the bottom two teams were obviously Rouge B and Y'Alexis. Lip syncing this week were Raven and Alexis to Don't Ya by the Pussycat Dolls.
I definitely feel like Team Rouge B should have been in the bottom two, but mostly because of Katie.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's editing or whatever, but I feel like the biggest thing was her really not willing to take it that extra mile. As for Shad and Y'Alexis, I don't know. Like, I thought that Y'Alexis did really well.
But it's just like there's only 3 teams left.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, when it first started, I was like, ooh, I don't know if Raven's going to be able to, you know, turn this out. And Alexis was like, you know, giving a bit of dancing. She was doing her thing. As it went on, I felt like Raven was kind of, you know, owning it. She started to get down on the floor and give you that sex Raven that she does.
Yeah.
And Jada pushed the fucking button, bitch. Now, today on that Spreecast, whatever thing that New Now Next did with Michelle, Alexis, and Jada, they were kind of saying, like, you can't tell Jada to not do something, because she was like, oh, I'm going to push the button. It seems like really fun. So I think she just wanted to have fun with it, and, you know, she also didn't want to feel like you said.
Yeah, I felt like she probably didn't want to go home feeling like, what if I would have pressed that button?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, props to her for fighting and being like, no, bitch.
Yeah.
I do want to say that they didn't really focus on Alexis that much, so I don't know how fair it is to say that Raven, like, killed it more than her, because they didn't really focus on Alexis too much, I felt. But regardless, like, Raven was, like, really just owning that song. And, like, the look, and, like, she was taking it to, like, showgirls, and she thought, bitch, okay, what would I do if I was at the club? I feel the only thing missing was that signature cigarette, bitch, and it would have been on point, like...
En point.
Yes, bitch, like, she was giving you 2012 Raven, like, Raven now, like, for the gods, bitch, like, just down.
Jada got up, I thought that she was doing good. She was trying to give that sex as well. She's like, oh, you want to give body? Let me give you body, bitch. And she was, like, popping and shit. But, you know, we hardly got to see any of it because it was so focused on Raven, I felt, at least the edit.
Not that I'm mad at it, because, bitch, she slayed. I feel like when Jada pressed the button, Raven is that type of bitch that's gonna make her do better.
Yeah.
And she put some common type shit. She was like, bitch, I got body. And she took off that dress.
Yeah.
And it was just, like, everything. Because that song is, you know... It's freak nasty, bitch, and, like, you know, love Alexis, but, like, you know, she dancing, she doing her choreography and everything, but, you know, Raven is just being that gutter bitch on the side, and that's what the song is about, you know what I'm saying? She's like, don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me, bitch? So I just thought the whole thing was perfect.
Alexis was saying in her exit interview that, you know, Puerto Rico didn't get that crown again this year, but I'm waiting for the day
that
a Puerto Rican queen takes it.
Seriously.
But Sweet Ru was like, I love you girls to filth, basically. And, you know, I didn't feel like a shitty kind of, oh, go home.
Yeah. I feel like she meant it too, like, you know, I feel like Ru really sees something in those two.
Yeah.
And Jada's pussy was on fire, putting the picture up next to Ru, like, bitch, you know, give yourself the moment that she won't, bitch. So, yeah, I'm really sad to see them go, and I feel like they really brought something different to the competition. I thought they were such a standout team.
Yeah.
So, moving on to Untucked.
So yeah, the girls got to talking and kikiing after they, you know, got in and sat down, got their cocktails or whatever, and Chad asked about, you know, Team Rujabee's girl Katie not really wanting to be dragged up, and they were kind of discussing it, and Raven was just slicing and dicing them words, honey. She was not missing.
Buku shade.
Yeah, it was something. I think she was letting her have it because she said, like, she was mad that she didn't speak up on the stage or whatever, but we'll get to that in a minute.
But the power's in the words, bitch, because she could have used the word tone down instead of dumb down when she was talking to her. I do want to say, though, that I feel like once it got to everybody talking about it and being on stage and everything, I felt like Katie probably felt kind of stupid after the whole thing, kind of felt dumb, like, here was me feeling this way and everybody else is just into it. So, you know, at least she felt remorse, bitch. And I gotta say, there's nothing worse than doing makeup or hair on a client that is not willing to cooperate.
Oh, damn, what the fuck is that? Some crazy ass dog sounding bitches up outside this window, and I'm ready to fucking tie my hair up in a bun and fight, bitch. I ain't finna play with these hoes.
They let
Get
that
the
into a
shit
fight
out of me anyway.
So, yes, anyway,
dang.
yeah, I feel like she felt kind of stupid and whatever, and it's like, she should have given it her all, girl, because you putting these bitches in the bottom too, like, you on day field right now, girl, so play right.
You know, Kelly was saying that she was thanking the girls for being so brave and putting themselves out there, and, you know, they were all talking about...
Yeah, it was already positive and everything.
Yeah, it was a really cute moment, which it got interrupted by a peekaroo for the All-Stars only to go into the next room. Okay, so the peekaroo turned out to be a message from Jujubee's partner. Of like 7 years, and it was a really cute moment, saying how much he missed her and loved her, and you know, they were talking about getting married, so maybe there's a proposal in her near future. It was a really sweet, cute moment. And Jujubee crying again. How many times they make Jujubee cry this season, and then she stay crying
they
with that lash hanging off.
Bitch.
But
yeah, it was really cute to see it out on TV and everything. And you know, best of luck to you, Juju. Congratulations on that.
Juju's pussy was on fire when she was given the specifications of her ring.
Yeah, that was a moment, bitch. I was laughing for so long. Like even after that, I just started laughing again.
Yes, bitch. She turned it out.
Let them know. So we got to see more of like Katie, you know, backstage when they were doing her makeup, and like I'm looking at her in Untucked, I'm like, bitch, your nose ain't even too much contoured.
Like, yeah, she was just being really funny about the makeup.
Yeah, you got to see more of like her being like, she's kind of annoying, like no teeth.
But you know, she kind of realized that she kind of messed it up for them, I think, and she didn't really feel very good about it, so...
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, I'm just like, girl, I'm glad she gave it her all, like, with the rest of the stuff. I just feel like that was pretty detrimental.
Yeah.
And, you know, you were supposed to be on their team, like, helping them, you know? You weren't really meant to be gaining nothing out of it, so I didn't get really why you weren't cooperating too much, but it is what it is. I don't understand why in the Untucked, before it goes to, like, the ad break or whatever, they feel the need to, like...
fabricate this whole
situation, even though they're gonna air what really happened or how they really wanted to portray it anyway.
It does my head in.
Yeah, it's annoying because it's like, boo, Drag Race fans are so dedicated, you don't need to put these things out there to like get them to like stay tuned, because they're gonna stay tuned, like trust. So the girls, like, you know, the biological girls was kicking, and like I thought it was really cute to see like the way that, you know, people who don't do drag see it and like watch them like talk about it after they've like experienced it for the, you know, kind of, it was like interesting to see like how they felt about it. I felt like their opinions were pretty much the same as like our friends' opinions, because like when Vicky saw us getting dragged, like I know she felt tired with us, so like just watching us, I think took the wind out of her.
Yeah, so, you know, the girls were basically, as Kelly said, shitting their tights the whole damn time that they were lip syncing and things of that nature. And Kelly was so upset when your Alexis went home.
Bitch, she was crying.
So sweet, and, you know, she felt really bad, and at the end, like in the elimination, like interview, whatever, she came and she wanted to thank them. It was just really, really, really sweet.
Yeah, it was really cute.
So I guess that brings us to the end of our review, bitches. So I hope y'all got your life.
Yeah.
And we'll be seeing you back next week.
Okay, deuces. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.